Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about AI art generators and how I use these artificial intelligence software in my workflow. But first, let's address the pink elephant in the room. All the controversy and criticism surrounding its impact on digital artists, its ethical dilemmas. Will AI replace everyone eventually? And this is just the start. And immediately I say no. This will not replace digital artists, not unless they fail to adapt. It's just a software that requires human input like any other. Just like how AutoCAD didn't replace the architect, instead it was used to make drafting quicker and more efficient. It's all about adapting, and one of the ways of adapting is to incorporate AI into your workflow, to brainstorm ideas or to create assets that you can use for kit bashing, photo manipulation, and even do a paint over to fully make it your own. As a disclaimer, AI art is still in its early stages, so no one can really say for sure how it will evolve to impact us. But one thing for sure, when these new technologies come about, they are here to stay. However, it is important to be a part of the debate, which will help to regulate the technology a bit better. So a popular question, can you really call AI generated works art? Who is the author? Someone who just writes random text, or is it the AI software itself? These are still ongoing debates. However, recently a few works have managed to be copyrighted because of the level of editing they underwent after being generated. But what about works that didn't undergo any editing at all? I think artists who post AI art should make sure to have a disclaimer about their process. And I also think the software or its creators should share intellectual property. There are also ethical concerns surrounding the dataset being used to train these AI algorithms, where artists' works and people's faces such as celebrities are being used to drive the data. Should artists and celebs be able to opt out of their work and likeness being used? I for one think they should. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Be a part of the discourse. So here we are inside Midjourney, which is my favorite AI software so far, simply because I think the results are a bit more artistic and painterly. It has this semi-abstract way of blending different shapes together to create a really aesthetically pleasing shape language. Also, its use of color and composition I find really appealing as well. Here I have typed in a text description of what I would like. However, with AI it's hard to predict what you will get back. Maybe that's a good thing. It gets you outside of your head and gives you something that can even spark new ideas. You don't get too attached to one idea, which opens up the room to explore new possibilities. So I really like these 4 images that the AI generated, and I'm going to bring them into Photoshop to do a bit of photo manipulation, cutting out elements that I like and placing them on my preferred base image. It's like doing a collage. I used to cut out stuff out of magazines when I was growing up, placing random people's heads on top of different bodies. Now there's Photoshop for that. I also sometimes do a bit of color correction and paint over to integrate the different elements a bit more. Some shadows here and there, a bit of highlight. I won't bring this to perfection as this is still a concept. And I'll be taking this one step further into 3D space where I'll be using my VR headset. So the reason why I'm using VR for this stage is that there are a few VR software that allows you to sketch in 3D space, such as this software I'm using called Oculus Quest. With VR I'm able to have 6 degrees of movement, meaning I feel like I'm actually inside the software where I can walk around the model or even hold it in one hand and sketch around it really quickly. It's a more intuitive and immersive process that brings you closer to your art. To have a feeling of presence, you are able to understand the scale of your work as a result of this. So at first I sketched out the overall outfit. I did just one side because I'm going to copy and flip this later as the outfit is symmetrical. I then block out the larger shapes and add some finer details after. With Quill there isn't much in terms of lighting, so I'm shading the 3D brushstrokes manually by adding highlights and using colorize tool to add some shadows. I'm not really using any advanced techniques as this is basically sketching but in 3D VR, so I'm just repeating the same process for each section until it's more or less finished. Okay guys, this is just a small part of my design workflow. In another video I'll be doing a bit of 3D sculpting, texturing and lighting. But as is, this could be used as a 3D artwork or as a 3D character concept in an animation or game dev pipeline. So that's it guys, I hope you really enjoyed a peek into how I use AI and VR as design tools, and also my 2 cents on how I view AI art overall. So until next time, peace out.